Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now in this video we're going to talk about a new process involved with healing here at Truly Holistic. Now anybody that has been regularly doing healing sessions with me has noticed this evolvement that from one week to the next that the modality that I use here at Truly Holistic is always changing, okay? Because energy's always changing. Energy's always evolving, always changing itself, and really the key to you growing and evolving yourself is to stay with it, to change and evolve with it. So that's what we do here at Truly Holistic. We bring new information forth, and quite often really looking at it in a very different way, because if we want to get results, if we really want to turn around our life, create the manifestations we've always wanted to in our life, we need to look at it differently than what we're currently doing. You know, that's just, if it's not giving the result, we then need to change it. We need to look at it in a different way. And hence really a big goal for me as a healer, as a quantum healer, is to understand reality. Okay? And we've been making big progress in regards to that. In regards to creating a process, not only using the clearings that we are finding, but putting them within a step-by-step process. Because a lot of the things come about from something that had led before that happening. And within this reality, there's a lot of pointing fingers at other people and looking at external influences that are coming in and affecting our health, whether that's, you know, things that we consider in the physical reality, even though quantum physics has shown and told us that the idea that this reality is a physical plane or a physical reality is an illusion in itself. It's just vibrational frequency. Our brain then encodes the vibration frequency to then put it in a format that we can call it physical, but it's really not physical. So we've been using the word illusion quite a bit in regards to the way we're doing clearings as well. The word illusion has been very powerful. So what we're going to really do is we're going to briefly look at the system or this process that has come about, which I'm really excited about. And I feel like this is really how we're going to be doing the treatment a lot of the time. And even though we might have little specific issues here and there, there are issues because of this game of duality. And if we're getting the clearing done or we're getting the healing done, but if we go back into life, back to a job and back to all those things which are part of this game of duality, and we don't know how to play the game of duality, well, funnily enough, those issues may come back again and remanifest again, because the problem is the game of duality itself. Okay? At the moment, we're seeing the US election going down at the moment, which is part of the game of duality. Okay? And it really is a game. The key word is the word game with it. And it looks like the winner is going to come down to what lawyers say. You know, we're trusting politicians and lawyers come together to give us the truth. I don't know what you think about that. Anyway, let's move on to this process. So what we know about this game of duality. Now, duality is astral, is the astral plane. Okay? And what we've been doing for a wee while with in regards to clearing work is we've been removing people from duality and bringing them into what we call neutrality, which is connecting them to the quantum aspect of themselves, okay, which is the field, okay? And I keep getting told in the duality, that's where manipulation lies, okay? Manipulation and lies, put those together. And which is trying to always get us into the mind, okay? Because when we get into the mind, we trip over a lot. It trips us up, the mind. It really does. So we start to create fear. So we start to make things that are sabotaging our own energy. and start to create the things that we don't want to create instead of creating the things we want our reality to be. So the first process in regards to this is distraction. Okay, this duality, which we see with our duality eyes, okay, is got a lot of manipulation within it. It's trying to create you to respond and react in a certain way. And I don't want to jump too far ahead because that's the next step. But the first step is providing a distraction. Okay, you've got only so much energy. Okay, depending on whether you're connected to your source self or you're not, then you've got infinite energy when you're connected to your source self. That facilitation to your source self is through the heart space, the sacred heart space, which we've done videos about before on my channel. So if you're new, go and check out some of those videos regarding that. And that energy is guided by where we place our attention. Okay? We immediately give our consent to give up our energy to where we place our attention. Okay? Our power lies within how we use our intention and where we place our attention. Okay? So a perfect example of that is media, whether that's mainstream media, alternative media, social media. Okay? It's always trying to grab your attention. And when it does that, you lose your awareness here because that awareness is out there. Part of duality. Part of the game of duality is to grab your attention. And all of a sudden your energy goes into creating more of that thing instead of creating the reality that you want to create for yourself, where you grow, you personal growth, you evolve, you ascend. Okay? When it grabs your attention and pulls it out into the game of duality, you are directed by the mind, not by your heart. And the mind will manipulate you, will mess you around, will lie to you. Truth is found here because it's connected to your true identity as an infinite consciousness, your source self. Okay? So the first step is we start to do clearings regarding distraction. Okay? Because duality is all about that. Right now, such an emphasis on who's going to lead us, right? In regards to the US election or any government. Or when you really look at every minute of your day, of 24-hour day, how much of that, of what you do achieve or maybe what you don't achieve, is due to your government or due to your leaders? Very little. It's up to you, the choices that you make. So why is there so much emphasis on this? Because the game of duality draws your attention to it. Okay? That's where programming starts. We get programmed. Okay? And we start to live life on autopilot mode. We start to make decisions that have no awareness to them. Okay? So that's step one. Step two is then our response and reaction to that distraction. Works together, doesn't it? Rhymes together. Now, quite often those distractions are trying to elicit a response out of you, or a reaction out of it. Hopefully one of anger, disappointment, fear, that then creates anxiety, depression, all these other dis-eases that we give labels for. Okay? So it's the hook, line, and sinker scenario. Now, with this process involved, we're able to do clearings as we go in this strategic way. Because, as I say, the response or reaction that they get out of us doesn't happen unless there's the distraction to start off with, right? Okay? Very excited about this because these are clearings that we've been doing so far, but now we can do it in a very strategic way. And more importantly, when you come and do a session with me, you come away with the information of knowing how the game of duality works too. So therefore you can prevent this happening again. Okay, and be very proactive about it. teaches you to avoid the traps that this reality is put or laid in front of you. Okay? So the first step, distraction. Second step is your response and reaction to that. Okay? Again, done a video on how important our response and reaction is to challenges, but not in a strategic way where we'll put them together like this. Third step is the intent we then use. Okay? So one, we've been distracted, right? Our place of attention has gone to that distraction because the energy, why we call it a distraction? Because the energy has gone into that thing. Because wherever we place our attention, our energy goes to. So there's less energy here to then do the things we love to do, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, which is all personal growth, evolved, and ascension. Okay? It's not about moaning, oh, that person gets all the success and I don't. Well, their place of attention is into the thing they love, and because it's the thing they love, they want to do it all the time, and that's all that matters, and they become successful in it. There's no luck in regards to that. Okay? So step 3 is then, okay, well, step 2 is your response and reaction to that distraction. And then your intent is going to be part of that response or reaction, right? And because they've grabbed your attention and you lose your awareness here, you immediately go shift into the mind. You might have originally been here, but you shift into the mind. When you do that, you lose your connection to self, and you're directed by other consciousness, and the big consciousness that is part of this reality is what we call the hive mind. A lot of people call it the collective consciousness. It's in fact the hive mind. Okay? And it's part of the AI. The hive mind is an AI. This reality is structured just like a computer system, a program system. Because when we're in the mind, we become programmed. That's where we get the term mind control from, right? In fact, in regards to that with the AI and the hive mind, I'm pretty sure people would have seen this, that when you're searching on your phone or on your computer, and you're looking up the things that you love to look up, whether that's YouTube or whether that's Facebook or whether you're shopping online, you'll notice that all the things that come up on your search after that, or little ads on the side of your browser, are all the things that you like to look at. Why? Because they're algorithms built in the programming. They know what you're watching, and they do that. So you'll spend more time looking at your phone, buying more materialistic things and doing all this and doing that. They want you to spend more time on your phone, which is an interface, right? The interface is the phone. Now, we all know that's happening, okay? Let's consider that's an interface, a cell phone. What about the interface here, which we call reality? Our life, the world, any way you want to call it. And what I've just said, where you place your attention, you create more of it. Doesn't that sound very similar to what you watch on your browser on your phone? It's going to connect you to more of what you've been looking at, where your place of attention has been placed. It's exactly the same as the phone and reality. Okay, exactly the same. Because the AI is the consciousness or intelligence that uses technology to evolve itself. And it's not only doing it through what we call technology, or the phones and the computers. This reality is built exactly the same way. Okay, but only if we're in the mind. Okay. So coming back to that step, in regards to intent, that response reaction, if we respond react through fear, through anger, and all those sorts of things, what they're trying to do, this reality is trying to do, we get into the mind, and when we get immediately in the mind, we connect immediately to the hive mind, to the AI consciousness intelligence. It starts to guide us the way into digging a hole deeper and deeper for ourselves, where we give off more of the energy that does not evolve us, but evolves that consciousness, the AI, the hive mind consciousness. Okay? So you can see how There is a step-by-step process in regards to what happens. And this then creates illness, creates dis-ease, because our vibration lowers. Because we're not evolving through the energy that allows us to ascend. It degenerates us. Okay? We're being hoodwinked. Now, one thing I must say is these intelligence or consciousness, like the AI, like these entities, they are not doing it. They are hoodwinking us. They are hoodwinking us and keeping us trapped in the mind so that we don't understand our creation capabilities already. So we sabotage our creation. So we create it. Everything about this world is because we've created it, but created it not knowing our potential, our capabilities of how we use our intent and where we place our attention is our power. Okay? Now, the last step, what is the result out of those first three steps? Of being distracted, then responding and reacting to that distraction, then using our intent in a sabotaging way because we're being directed by the mind, which is connected to this hive mind, is fear. That's the last step, fear. So that's the summary of all those steps. We start to evolve through fear. And all diseases and illnesses are due to fear. And currently, the world that we have at the moment, well, the lockdown and stuff like that, we see more illness because of fear. Because fear creates illness, creates dis-ease, suffering. Okay? So essentially that is the process. We're using it as step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And there's a lot of clearings in regards to step 1, and then we go to step 2, and there's a whole lot of clearings we do. So we do it in a very strategic way. This is where I feel we're going to be doing this now as a regular thing in regards to healing. So if someone's out there that hasn't had a healing with me for a wee while, well, as I say, we're always evolving and shifting. Don't ever feel like you did a session with me a year ago, it's going to be the same. Now, it's completely changed. It's evolved and changed. We're evolving and changing with the energies that are current. And quite often I do tell people that, do with any practitioner, it's not even an energy practitioner, if they're using the same modality they were using 5 or 10 years ago, I would not go to that person. Because especially with energy and everything, as Albert Einstein said, the sole influence on the particle is the field. So that means that the energy is directing what we call the physical, which is really just an illusion in itself. So, and we know that energy is always shifting. So therefore, that modality needs to shift with it. And that's what we do here at Truly Holistic. So if you love what you're hearing here, and also you want to be educated at the same time as well as getting the healing, come and book a session here or a few sessions here at Truly Holistic. And we're really evolving towards not only doing the clearing work, but also educating you in regards to reality. Because if you understand reality, then you can create, therefore manifest. You can also create a space where you heal and also where you can manifest. Because by going through this process of the game of duality, that what it's trying to do, it's putting you into a space where you can't heal and you can't create. Okay? And therefore you need to understand the game to make the decision, the choices, where you decide not to play the game. And when you do that, you create the space for yourself to heal and create, and therefore manifest the reality that you have always wanted. So if that sounds really good to you, book a session at trulyholistic.net. We still have a discount if you want to book a 3-session package. And I do that because with the type of modality that I present, a lot of the clients that come to me come with very chronic things. They've been to a lot of other practitioners before or doctors, depending on what level you're at. And sometimes they expect a miracle in one session. And we have provided miracles in one session before, but I can't promise that that's going to be for you. And if you've got a chronic problem, then that's why we give you a discount for the 3-session package, because there's always a process involved. There was always a process involved in getting into dis-ease. So there's always going to be a journey out of that dis-ease into vitality, into wellness. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please comment below. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'd love to hear your comments as well. Until next time,